want to keep it? We could keep it.
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay, today we are going to be doing Why I Was a Weird Kid. Her too, but Why I Was a Weird Kid. Okay. Shout out to my friend Lizzie for coming up with that.
Go Lizzie.
Technically it was Phil, but she told us to do it, so. Okay, who's going first?
Do you want to go first? Because mine's pretty interesting.
Mine's pretty interesting too, not really.
You go. I believe you.
Okay. Okay, so when I was little, when I would play with Barbie dolls, I had a set plot and made my friends follow it. Someone would be playing and they would make the doll say something. I'd be like, no. They have to say this. I was a control freak.
Oh no.
I had 2 obsessions, and I had the movies, all the movies for both of them. The Wiggles and Dora. And when I was 1, I sat in the drawer of the coffee table and watched TV. My mom would put me out of the drawer, walk away, and come back to check on me. I'd be in the drawer again.
Huh, that's odd.
I didn't wear anything but dresses up until 2nd grade.
I'd kill myself.
Now I would. If you see me in a dress, you better be getting ready for the zombie apocalypse, okay?
The blow dance? Well, you had leggings too, so I guess I'm
Yeah.
not bad.
It's very rare, but there are times when I'll dress up like a dance. And then when I get home from school at that age, I would put on a fancy dress, like a dress-up dress. Get my mom's umbrella, call it a parasol, and stroll up and down the sidewalk.
Were you Mary Poppins? Reincarnate?
No. I think I was trying to be a princess. What up, t-shirt reference? I've got nerdy princesses.
Yeah. My t-shirt is just... Hold on. Oh, you will be
Hey, you
seeing
wore a
many
shirt this time.
t-shirts. What? I wore a shirt last time too.
A sweatshirt.
Yeah, and a t-shirt underneath. It's just the U.S. Army thing.
Yeah.
It's my brother-in-law.
Okay. And in daycare,
Way back when.
I used a cuss word. Okay, let me elaborate. I dropped my doll and said shit right in front of the supervisor or whatever. And they were talking to my mom, and they're like, we can't get mad at her. She used it in context. And I thought that was so funny. But when I understood that cussing was not a good thing, you couldn't even pay me to cuss. And my brothers tried. 3 older brothers, they all failed at getting me to cuss.
Cuss.
What?
Do it.
Fuck.
There you go.
Oh, I cuss all the time now.
Yeah, I figured.
Life changes you.
It does.
If you don't notice, we're listening to My Chemical Romance
Yeah, and I'm
because
very sad right now because
it's
cancer
weird
just
things
came-
from our childhood, and they're dead.
Nostalgia.
Trigger warning, I'm sorry. Okay, for the longest time, I was obsessed with Hannah Montana, and my friends would call me Hannah Montana. One of my oldest friends will always use it against me. He's like, hey, remember that one time you stood on a desk and started singing Best of Both Worlds? And I slapped it, I'm like, bitch, shut up!
You did that?
Yes! It was like...
I feel like that should have been the whole point of it, not like
3rd grade, 4th grade, I'm not sure. But I had a
It was
Hannah Montana
ugly.
hairbrush. And I was singing it.
I had a Wiggles microphone. I don't know. It was like a hand-me-down from my half-sister.
And I had Dora bed sheets.
So did I!
I was gonna pass them on to my little sister, but she's like, no.
My sister was terrified of Dora. Like, she hated Dora with a passion. Like, Dora disturbed the heck out of her. Like, if she watched it, she did not sleep that night.
I'm terrified of the Teletubbies still.
The Teletubbies they shouldn't exist. They just shouldn't.
They started the Teletubbies in black and white, and they said it was too creepy.
Yeah, they're like, no, we're not going to do that. That's
Fun fact,
stupid.
one of the Teletubbies went on to be a lesbian porn star. Let's move on.
I was going to say something, but you don't need to. We're not going to talk about it.
Let's move on. Okay. Apparently, I've always been a singer. I did better with an audience when I was little, and I took to karaoke like a pro. Like, my mom's like, you've always sang. You've always loved singing, and you would just get better and be more confident when you were in front of people. One time, I was at this resort, and I was my mom was friends with the DJ, and he would let me go up every other singer. And there was one day when I was kind of sick, and I couldn't hit certain notes, so I was singing, I ran out of song ideas, so I went up there and I sang California Girls by Katy Perry. And then when I got to the whoa, oh, 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 I couldn't hit it. The first time, I cracked on it. The second time, I held the microphone out and everybody sang. It was the best day ever. I was so proud of myself, and I was 10 maybe 10. And they all just loved me, and I was like, I enjoy this. This is amazing. And I still sing all the time. I write songs now. I write stories. But that's not important. But yeah, that's all I have. Oh, and we were supposed to bring one object from our childhoods, and this was one of my first baby toys. And I've been saving it to one day give to my child. It's a little giraffe named Jeremy.
Oh,
Jeremy the giraffe. Now it's your turn! Yay!
Okay, so my first story, which is, hold on, yeah, probably the least disturbing one, involves my object, which is it's not that big of a baseball bat. Did I almost hit you or anything? I'm sorry. But a baseball bat. Don't die.
I'm already dead on the inside.
Okay, but...
Oh, buy Crank That Frank's merch, dead on the inside. Well, dead inside.
Yeah, it's not even... It's a bit longer than my arm. Slaps it. But it's pretty small bat. But I was 4 years old at the time. My sister was 5. And she was laying on a hammock. And, just a little 4-year-old me messing with the bat, could barely lift it up, was hitting the tree or something. And she wouldn't let me on the hammock. So, I just... Okay, I talk with my hand a lot. Maybe I should put this down. But I took the bat and I was just
hold it for you.
Okay, that works.
She's gonna kill me, guys. She brought it to kill me with it.
But I swung the bat back and it was on my shoulder. I'm like, can you please get off? She's like, no, and I just knocked her out cold. My dad was mowing grass and he looked over and my mom wasn't home and he just left us with our older sister who was probably 14 at the time. I don't know. But and she didn't do anything. She just kind of looked at my sister get up, what are you doing? And then my dad, he said his first thought that went through his head was, how am I going to explain to my wife that our one kid just killed the other? So that's the first story. And
my God.
The second one...
I don't think I've ever done anything that bad.
Okay, the second one was, dog treats, right? They smell good. You think they're gonna taste good, right? Well, so Milk Bone treats?
Yeah.
Okay, I used to lick them and then put them back in the box.
By the way, we have a dog. I'm not just stroking her leg.
Yeah, no, it's not just, it's, I'd let you stroke my leg, honestly. I probably wouldn't care. I would lick them, put them back in the box, and I just sit in our pantry, close the door, turn the light off, and just do that, one by one. And I do that all the time, and it was bad. And then one day, I was like, okay, I'm licking them. Might as well try to eat one. And I bit into one, and then I just cried, and I never did it again. So that's that one. And then
Can't relate.
my third one, and I think I had a lot
Bless you,
of
child.
I had
Sorry, I was blessing the
a
dog.
lot of
Tinkerbell sneeze.
I had a lot of weird dreams that I still remember from like ages 3 and up.
I have psychic dreams.
I'm like 37. I really hope this wasn't. Well, no, it probably was because it was a recurring dream involving a talking snake. So that's fun. Anyway,
are you
so,
Eve?
No,
From Genesis?
before we get from Genesis, a lot went down in Genesis. Not just that, but Genesis actually means beginning. Fact of the day. But
Fact of the day. Should we continue that?
we
Leave
could.
a comment.
I know a lot of crazy.
Please leave a comment.
Please. But what was I?
Okay, continue your
Third
story.
try. Here's the first weird dream I ever had. If this thing shuts off one more time, I'm beating it. Or Emily. I might beat Emily.
I should not have given her the bat at that
I
moment.
was like, I'm angry. What's wrong with you? But anyway, so I had this weird dream.
Oh my gosh.
While I had my Dora sheets in that bed, whenever my sister and I shared a bed, not a bed, a room, jeez. But I looked up in my dream, and there was just Spider-Man. But it wasn't like it was like Venom Spider-Man.
Oh, Tom Hardy.
Yeah, and like, he was just chilling there on the wall looking down at me. And it's kind of, the tongue flicked out, and then I woke up and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I still like Spider-Man though, and then my second
Oh my god, Tom Holland is a queen! Sorry.
My second one is just kind of weird. It involved like 2 football players beating each other with like these foam things. It was the Steelers and the Bengals, which I think may have been a psychic dream actually, because my brother-in-law is a big fan of the Bengals and my sister is a big fan of the Steelers. So
my recurring dreams are car crashes featuring me. And then my ex-boyfriend, long story, yelling at the bus driver to stop the fucking bus, that's my girlfriend, and runs off the bus, calls 911, and yeah, it was weird, but it happened a lot, and then I have a lot.
Weird.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I interrupted you, but I'm just like...
No, you're fine. My third and final one though, with the talking snake. So, this was when I was like 4, 5, something. I was out of the crib at this point. So I was in like my Dora bed, I think. But in the dream, I was still in my white crib. A white wooden crib, completely white, nothing else in the crib.
Now all I'm thinking about is, what's that movie? Paranormal Activity, just dragging the child out of the white crib. Sorry.
But everything else in the room was blank. Like, the walls were completely white. The doorway, you could, like, 'cause from my old bedroom, you could look over and there was, like, my mom's room at an angle. You could kind of see her room, but, like, it was mostly just, like, white light past the doorway. And then this little green snake would come in. And the floor was, like, the carpet that it is. It's, like, green, gross carpet. But anyway, the snake would just come slithering in and be like, so Lisa, and I befriended the snake.
Are you a Slytherin by chance?
No, I'm a Ravenclaw. But this was my best friend. This snake was my best friend, because it was in all my dreams most of the time. So I was like, so how are you? You know, Snakey. And it's like, I'm good. You know, it'd be a pretty neat thing if you killed your mother and your sister, you know, Kimmy. And I'm like, how about no? And then it's like, I'll get you someday. And I'm like, I don't think so. But how was your day? Like, it was just such a casual thing about all of the dreams. But it still scared me, because I'm like, the snake is telling me to kill my mother and my sister. No one else in my family. Just my mother and my sister.
I think I can one-up you with the weird dream.
And these two...
So I'm going to let you finish and then tell them.
And this happened a lot. And mind you, I was like 5 years old. And I didn't tell anyone until recently about it. Like, I told my mom, I think, while it was happening. And she's like, haha, funny, sweetie. Go watch Courage the Cowardly Dog. They wonder why I messed up. But... And my sister and my mom are the only people left in my house now that my sister moved away and my dad passed. So, if I would have killed them...
I mean, a snake telling you to kill your family's weird, but... There was this one point when I was just binge watching Supernatural like crazy.
Yes.
And around the time that Hurricane Irma was going through Florida...
You told me about
I did tell you about this. Okay. So my brother was living in Florida, and I was living with my dad in North Carolina. And so I was dreaming, and I get a call from my brother saying, yo, get down here, I'm stuck, I need your help. The hurricane did some weird stuff. So I was down there, I saw him stuck, and I was trying to move the debris when I get thrown against a side of a house by some force of some kind. I look up, and there's this woman. She was a demon, and it was like Lilith with the white, milky, glassy demon eyes.
Yeah. Or like
she's
the darkness, kind of. Like the darkness, kind of, is what it is.
And as I was saying about the milky eyes, it was so creepy. All of a sudden, I get up, and all of a sudden, I'm fighting this demon with my bare hands, just punching at her, and she whooshing me away.
Whooshing me.
Like skidding across the pavement. And then she threw me against a house another time. And then all of a sudden, I'm just like lying there, almost dead, like, why do I do this? When I feel arms beneath me, holding me up, crying and yelling my name. And I look up, and I'm like, Fredo, what the fuck are you doing here? Fredo, it's what I call my ex-boyfriend. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? And he's like, I'm helping my family. What the fuck are you doing here? I'm like, I have to defeat this demon, dude. Like, I was so nonchalant about it. And so, he helped me up. And then all of a sudden, I get pissed because he's there, my brother's there, and I'm very protective. And so, I just beat the shit out of Irma. And when she hits me down again, I hear Sam and Dean yell, Emily, take this! Throws the first blade at me. I take it, and I shove it into her chest, and I wake up.
Seems legit.
That's the best dream ever. That was an amazing
I
dream.
think I've only had one dream involving Sam and Dean.
I've had two, and then there was another one. I was at school, apparently, in the dream. We're just sitting in math, just doing whatever. All of a sudden, the door bursts open, and these Leviathans / those monsters from Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children run in the room and start attacking us. And then my friend William looks at me, and he's like, there's a knife in my textbook, grab it. I'm like, okay. And I know what I'm doing. I go up, and I start cutting at him. And then I remember one thing. I have a friend, and he was sitting in the back. I looked at him. He's like, I don't feel so good. And then he just goes, blah, and he turns into one of them.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
No!
I don't feel so good.
I hate you. That made me cry.
I'm sorry. Are you okay? No. There were tears. I don't know if you could see them, but there's tears in her eyes.
But, so, and he does that, and then I see Fredo up against the wall with 3 in front of him trying to get at him. I take the knife, and I go, and all 3 of their heads come off. He just looks at me like this. Oh my god. It was so funny. And then I look at them, and I'm like, I'm gonna go check the other classrooms. I run out in the hallway. Silence. I'm covered in Leviathan blood. I walk into the art room, and I'm like, is everything okay? You're just doing clay. Okay, we're doing an experiment. Bye now. Then I went back in, kept killing more. Sam and Dean run in and help out, and they're like, Emily! And then we finish, and he's like, come on. I'm like, yeah, I'm a Winchester.
Yeah, I'm a Winchester.
And then Dean's like, come on, let's go. Mom made pie. And I'm like, yes.
I love how this went from, like, why we were weird kids to, like, weird dreams we had.
I mean, it counts.
I'm balancing my phone on, like, my leg right now. This is what the music's coming from.
Okay, well, we love you and we'll see you next time. Comment what you want us to do next, right? Oh, hand hearts.
Yeah, they're cuties.
Yeah, we love you. Okay, goodbye, Internet. I hate myself.